Hey guys, it's Jen. Welcome back to my channel and welcome back to another video. Today is Wednesday and I will be filming a working mom day in the life today. So if you are new to my channel, welcome. I am a working mom and I like to post videos on this channel about that kind of content and food and family. So if you are new, I hope that you subscribe and stick around. So today I am working at the hospital. For those of you who might be new, I am a nurse. I work in quality improvement. And today I actually have to do some training in the education department in the event that I would get pulled back into patient care because of the current pandemic that's going on. So that should be fun. I have some other things that I need to get done. I am currently working from home half the time. So this week I'm working from home 3 days and next week I'm working from home 2 days. So that's kind of how we've worked it out in our department, alternating with one another. So I am going to get this workday done and I will catch up with you after work. Okay, so I just want to take a quick moment to thank Skillshare for sponsoring today's video. If you guys have been watching for a while, you know that I have partnered with Skillshare in the past and I am so happy to be working with them again. If you aren't familiar with Skillshare, it's an online learning community, and once you are a member there, you can access thousands of classes. There are basically classes on anything you would want to take. There are classes on film and video, music production, productivity, art, watercolor, basically anything you want to take a class on, you can find it on Skillshare. Lately, I have been enjoying this watercolor class, sketchbook practice, back to basics, watercolor fundamentals. And I've basically been using Skillshare as a way to learn more art techniques because art is something that really has helped me during this uncertain time in the world right now. Skillshare is super affordable and it's less than $10 a month with an annual subscription. If you guys want to try out Skillshare, I'll have a link in the description box below, and the first 1,000 of my subscribers who click on the link will get a 2-month free trial of the premium membership to Skillshare so that you can try out some classes and explore your creativity. Later on in this video, I'll actually be sharing some watercolor with you that I did later on in the evening. All right, so it is the end of the day. It's 3:30. I just got out to my car. It seems that my whole job and everyone else's whole job, if you work in a hospital, I'm sure you are aware of this right now, but basically your whole job is consumed by the effects of COVID and the implications of COVID and everything that's happening right now. It affects everything. So today was a good day. I had some training this morning in the event that we would get a surge of patients and I would have to go back to the floor and care for patients. Once we would get, I think between 20 and 30 hospitalized COVID patients would be the threshold at which I would be called up and would probably be working on, sorry, my phone's buzzing. We'll probably be working on the COVID overflow unit, so that would be interesting. So we'll see what happens. It sounds like the projections here in Iowa have gotten a lot better as far as the social distancing really working. We're not seeing as many cases and deaths as were originally predicted, but I think we're scheduled to peak in terms of hospitalizations around like May 1st to May 3rd. That obviously changes every day. I'll link a site below where you can actually look up your state and it will tell you the projected number of hospital beds needed, the projected number of ventilators needed, et cetera, et cetera. It's kind of interesting. So anyway, I did that and got that all ready to go. Yeah, other than that, just worked on other stuff the rest of the day. So I'm gonna go home right now. I haven't decided what I'm making for dinner tonight. I think either Swedish meatballs or maybe just sandwiches on some pretzel rolls. So yeah, that's that. And it's now raining. It just started raining right as I got to my car, so that was really good timing. All right, so it is almost 5 o'clock and I'm home and I changed my clothes and I'm getting ready to make supper, but first I'm gonna unload the dishwasher and put the dirty dishes in the dishwasher because I cannot start cooking with that business. Okay, so I think for dinner I'm going to make the pretzel roll, steak sandwiches, and some roasted potatoes and green beans. So I'm thawing out my beef. This is just some sliced steak. I sometimes don't think ahead and thaw out my stuff, so I put this on defrost in the microwave for about 1.5 pounds, and then I'm just going to continue defrosting it by running some water over it. I get actually a lot of questions about how I defrost meat and do I use my microwave, and the answer is yes. Ideally I would already have it thawed, but you know, life isn't always ideal. And then my potatoes are just here in my salad spinner. I'm going to scrub these off just with cold water. I wash all my produce in my salad spinner, so if you don't have one, you need one. I'll link it down below. And then I'm also going to wash my green beans in here too. Alright, so I've got my potatoes washed up. I'm going to cut these into like smallish wedges and put them on a baking tray. I just have a silicone mat on here. I'm going to use this Fresh Jack's salt-free garlic herb seasoning. If you guys haven't tried their spices below, they're really good. I have many of them. I do have a coupon code in the description box below if you're interested, but they do deliver, and I have loved everything that I've tried. I especially like this garlic herb seasoning because it doesn't have salt in it, and the reason I like it is because I can control the amount of seasoning and then add my own salt. Sometimes with seasoning mixes that are really salty, I have a hard time judging, you know, how much salt to add. I'm much more you know, attuned to kosher salt and how much I should add. So I'm just going to cut these up, drizzle them with oil and seasoning, get them on the baking tray. Alright, so I've got my green beans washed and I'm just going to steam them on the stove in this steamer basket. I've got some water in the bottom. Put my potatoes in the oven. Next, I've got some beef broth over here. I'm just going to kind of deglaze the pan with that after I cook the steak. So I need to get this kind of taken out of the package and seasoned. And then this is what I'm going to use to cook the beef. And then I might toast up the pretzel rolls, I'm not sure yet. I also think I'm going to do like a quick pickle of a shallot to put on top of these. The kids won't eat that, but Adam and I will. And I was thinking I might throw some banana peppers in there too. So I've seasoned the beef. Well, this one's not seasoned yet, but I'm just seasoning it with salt and pepper. And I'm going to do it in 2 batches just to kind of make sure that I can saute these up without overcrowding the pan. Because since the beef is so thin, it will cook quickly. And you should be able to find, well, I don't know about right now, but because I took mine out of the freezer, but sometimes you can find this in the grocery store under like sliced steak or strip steak or something like that, or beef for stir fry. But I like to use it for sandwiches like this too. And then my green beans are cooking. Pretzel rolls all on my tray here, so I think I'm actually going to put ham on the kids. Not because I don't have enough steak. I have enough steak, but usually they're not really too fond of steak sandwiches like that. They like regular steak. So I'm just going to do 2 with mayo and steak, And I'll put some provolone cheese on there, and then some of the topping for Adam and I, and then I put mayo on Connor's. Kira doesn't like that, so I'll just do ham and cheese on theirs. Okay, so here's our sandwiches ready to go in the oven. I think I'm actually going to cover these up with foil before I put them in there, because I don't want them to like dry out. I just want them to kind of heat through, because these rolls are a little bit hard. They're not hard, they're just a lot of bread. So I'm going to pop these in the oven. I don't think the potatoes, no, the potatoes are, they're working. All right, so everything's ready. Here's the potatoes that are left. Everyone else got their food. Green beans, I just put butter, salt, and pepper on there. And then I cut the kids' sandwiches in half. I don't know if they'll want the other halves, and that's mine.
What am I supposed to do?
Kira starts. Yeah, you're cracking the eggs.
Hit the table. He's cracking all our eggs. What will I do now?
No, we don't. You just have to start crying. No, we don't have any eggs. And Connor has to say, whoa.
Whoa.
Okay, this is the video we're trying to replicate.
You need to yell.
Let me find it. Where's that? Oh, this one right here.
He's cracking our eggs.
Yeah.
Whoa. Whoa. Now I want to have the eggs to come.
Isn't there some more in the...
Ow! Well, we can't too.
Kira, knock it off.
I love Adam. Kira, knock it off. That's from 2014. All right, so I hope you guys enjoyed that little clip of the kids when they were younger. I just love watching videos, and it's so fun for the kids. But anyway, now I am up at my desk in my office, and like I said earlier, I have been liking to work on different art projects. You guys saw in a video a couple weeks ago that I did some gel printing, and so during this time when I've had more, I guess you would say, anxiety and just sort of overwhelmed than normal with everything going on in the world and work and everything, it's really been helping me to work on something creative at night. And typically I like to do this in between the time that we eat dinner and the kids go to bed. So, you know, sometimes when the kids are taking their showers and stuff, I'll slip into my office and work on stuff like this. So tonight I just thought I would do some watercolor using some of the techniques that I learned in that Skillshare class. So what you see me doing here is just using a rubber stamp tool. It's called a Misty, to stamp a floral image on some watercolor paper. And all of these supplies that I have, I'll link them down in the description box below if you're interested in picking any of them up. But essentially what I wanted to do was stamp this floral pattern and then use my watercolors to color this in. And so I just have some inexpensive watercolor paper. I did make sure to stamp the image in StazOn ink. That way it is permanent ink and it will not run when you paint the watercolor on top of it. And for this, I'm actually using liquid watercolors. Liquid watercolors, if you've never used them, are super pigmented. And so it really only takes a tiny, tiny drop to get the color that you need for your image. And you can see that I'm actually using a piece of plastic or acetate to put my watercolor on. And that's because I can use this piece of acetate later to smash it on top of another piece of paper and then use that pattern for a card or a scrapbook page or something else. So one thing I would encourage you to do if you want to try watercolor painting, and keep in mind that I am by no means an expert in this. I would consider myself a very, very amateur watercolor painter. But one thing you can do besides obviously, you know, picking up some skills via an online class like Skillshare is painting stamped images like this. Not even like stamped images. You don't have to have a stamp. You could actually print something out online and try painting that. I think just the act of making something like this to me is just super relaxing. Usually I'll like put in my earbuds and listen to music or listen to a podcast or watch some Netflix or something like that. And it's just a nice way to kind of decompress from the day. So after I finished painting my flowers there, you can see me kind of putting some water on this sheet of acetate to move around. And what I'm going to do is flip this over and smash it onto some watercolor paper. Whenever I'm watercoloring, I always keep a sheet of watercolor paper next to me to kind of dab my brush off on. And these end up being some of my favorite abstract patterns. I've used them before in scrapbooking. I use them on card fronts. It's just super fun to have these like cool swashes of color, and they're actually very useful. You can use them in lots of other projects. So there you just see me kind of turning the paper around to let that paint drip down for a cool effect. So once I gave my painting a little bit of a chance to dry, I'm going to go ahead and use some of my tiny little sharp scissors to cut this out. And if you haven't been, in the scrapbooking world, this is actually called fussy cutting. So it's when you are trying to kind of cut out a detailed image like this. And my plan was actually to paint this, cut it out, and then I thought I would either use it on a card or a scrapbook page or maybe on a piece of wall art. And I think wall art is what I decided. And I'm not going to finish it in this video, but I'll kind of show you guys how it's turning out and how it's morphing into maybe a piece of framed art that I can give to my daughter. This stamp set is one that I picked up on scrapbook.com, and I forget what the title of it's called, something bouquet, but it actually comes with this large floral stamp, which is really nice for stamping a pattern on a card, or like I said, this is large enough that you could use it on wall art or a scrapbook page. And the stamp also has a bunch of fun sentiments on it, like thinking of you, proud of you, you're on my mind, thank you, stuff like that. So you could definitely use it for cards as well. So what I have here is a piece of 8x10 white cardstock, and then matted on that is a sheet of 5x7 black cardstock. And I thought the contrast would look nice if I framed it like this. And I have the floral image kind of hanging off the left-hand side of the black mat, which is just a little bit more pleasing to the eye if you have things kind of going off the edge like that. And I'm still playing around with this title. I haven't, not necessarily title, but I'm still playing around with how I want the wording on this. I haven't quite decided if I want that XOXO. I'm also going to try the loved word and see which one I like better. Sometimes when I work on projects like this, it's actually more beneficial for me not to finish it in one day. A lot of times I like to just let it sit out on my desk, and I'll come back to it several times over, the next couple days or so, and really just look at it and see which way I like best. So I do like this too. But yeah, I just wanted to share this project with you guys that I worked on tonight. All right, so it is currently 9:15, and after dinner, the kids and I got sucked down this rabbit hole of watching old videos of them on my phone, like of when they were like babies and toddlers. So that was super fun. I'll put in a couple of them right here because they're super cute. Well, you guys saw the one of Kira complaining that Connor was cracking all the eggs. That was funny. And there was a couple other ones that we were laughing about too. So that was fun. We just kind of like reminisced for a while. Yep, this one.
Yellow.
What's this one?
It's green.
What's this one?
It's green.
No. Blue.
It's green.
Okay, what color is this one?
Brown.
Good job.
Oh, says mama, says mama. Oh no, mama, oh no, mama. Oh no, mama, no, oh no, mama, oh no, vegetable. Okay, mama, okay, grapes.
That's a raspberry.
Grapes.
That's raspberry.
Grapes.
Raspberry. What does Santa say? Say, ho, ho, ho.
Oh, oh, ah.
Merry Christmas.
Whoa.
Be gentle. Hold on.
Hold on. This is gonna be. Oh, he burst. I burst. That's really how it goes. Oh God!
And then the kids wanted to have some of the cheesecake that I made this weekend. So you guys would have seen that in my weekend prep video. It was a copycat recipe for vanilla bean cheesecake from Cheesecake Factory. So I cut some pieces for them. They ate that. I helped Connor take a shower. I should probably go to bed soon, but usually my favorite thing to do in the evening is lay in bed with the lights out and just watch either scrapbooking videos or like mixed media videos, or like painting or watercolor or something like that. Like, I know you're not supposed to watch your phone at night, but it like calms me to watch that kind of stuff. I don't know. And then I think I mentioned this before, but I really like this deep sleep pillow spray. It is by This Works. I think you can get it on Amazon. I'll link it if I can find it, but I'm not really into this like woo-woo stuff, but honestly, I think this stuff is really good. Like, it has like a nice lavender smell, and I just spray it on my pillow like 10 minutes before I go to bed. And I don't know, I don't know that it really helps me fall asleep faster, but it just like relaxes me. So I like using that. So, you know, the no school situation, we have been told that we're not going back to school for sure for the rest of April. But my guess is that we'll probably be out the rest of the year. Maybe not though, with the way that the cases have been declining in Iowa. I don't know. We'll see. Anyway, my point is that I started out strong with having the kids do like learning activities. Like maybe the first week and a half that they were out of school, I was having them do worksheets every day and get on the computer and do math, and now that has just like petered out. And so I don't know. I don't really have an answer, and I don't know that anyone really has an answer. I think it's just hard because Adam and I are still obviously working full-time, and so basically the kids are just like on one big long extended spring break. So I don't really know if I'm doing the right thing, if I should be a little bit more aggressive about doing stuff with them. They are supposed to be starting some online learning next week. So hopefully that will help. Even if I could just have like a little bit of structure, like, you know, education. I mean, nursing education is one thing, but like, you know, primary education and kids education is not my area of expertise at all. And like, if they are assigned things, like I can help them do it. But as far as like coming up with the curriculum myself and knowing what to assign them, and like, is it too easy? Is it too hard? How much should they do? Like, all of that stuff is just not my, it's not what I'm good at. It's not my area of expertise. So even if we can just get a little bit of guidance from the school on what they should be doing, I think that will help a lot for at least the remainder of April. So hopefully that will help and we can get them doing something. I don't know. For now, you know, we've been doing gym and art class. You know, we go for walks and they ride their bikes, and that's our gym class. And then we've been doing a lot of painting and, you know, perler beads and that kind of thing. So, you know, we got that down pat. Oh, another thing I was going to say is that Connor worked on a picture for his teacher. She mailed him a letter, which was super, super sweet. And he wanted to write her back. And I said, well, let's draw her a picture. And so we decided to paint some things and put together like a collage. It's like a pineapple. He said she likes pineapples and sparkles. So I'll pop a picture of it right here. But anyway, I thought it was super cute. And he wrote a note on the back that said, I hope you're staying indoors and washing your hands. I miss you, or something like that. Anyway, it was super sweet. So yeah, that's what we worked on tonight. Anyway, All right, well, that is going to wrap it up for this day in the life. Let me know if you guys have any tips on the whole learning thing. I just, at this point, I feel like I'm not super concerned about it because my kids were like ahead of their grade academically. And so I don't really have the fear that they're going to fall behind. But if my kids weren't that way, and I was a parent whose kids were maybe at or below grade level for reading or something like that, I mean, that's like a huge stressor. And I don't know how people are handling it. I think I don't know, it's interesting. It just really underscores to me how much we rely on a village to raise our kids. And it's really, really hard to do everything alone. It's really hard. So anyway, that's going to wrap it up for today. I thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye.